what I'm about to say is offensive. Don't get offended. Don't get offended. Don't say I didn't warn you. I have known red-haired women who went away to southern Italy and were surprised and delighted to find that southern Italian men treated them as if they were fantastically sexually attractive. Yeah, I said it. There are red-haired women in this world who are regarded as a lumpy sack of potatoes in Ireland, who are not regarded as especially good looking in Scotland. But if they just get on an airplane and go on vacation in southern Italy just once, they discover that in that cultural context, they are really something special. They are treated as extraordinarily beautiful. Now, is there anything wrong with a red-haired Irish woman or a red-haired Scottish woman or deciding to learn Italian because she likes the sexual opportunities she has in Italy? Because she decides she likes that special treatment and she doesn't just want it when she's on vacation. She doesn't want to give it up. She doesn't want to go back to being ugly in her own country as opposed to being regarded as beautiful in a foreign country. Now look, I am talking about this from afar. I did not go to Thailand in order to get laid. I did not go to Laos in order to get laid. I did not go to Cambodia in order to get laid. And there are various things about my personality that make me extremely unattractive to women in those cultures. No false humility here. Actually, the ultimate example is Hong Kong. Okay, none of the women in Hong Kong thought I was attractive. None of them thought I was handsome. I wasn't what they were looking for. All right? This is not my own experience. So, okay. What if you found a YouTube channel created by a Pakistani guy talking about how wonderful it was to learn English in order to have sex with white women? About how all his dreams came true. Everything's wonderful. Now that he, as a Pakistani guy, has put in the work to become fluent in English, and maybe he's even selling a course so that you can be a polyglot like him. You can master English. Maybe his course, focuses on elocution or charisma, speaking English well, so that you can connect with these white women. Offended yet? Any other combination? What if Turkish men feel sexually liberated when they go to Japan? Turkish men want to learn Japanese. Here's the thing. My agenda is very different from all these other polyglot YouTubers. Okay? Now, I'm not opposed to intermarriage between the races. I'm opposed to marrying your own cousin, second cousin, third cousin. I'm opposed to inbreeding. I think there are a lot of people who should seriously consider the advantages of getting married to someone, having kids with someone from abroad, from far away, someone who's genetically unrelated to them. If you are born and raised a red-haired person in Ireland, do you really think you should get married to and have kids with someone else who has red hair and is born and raised in Ireland? Is that really a good idea for the next generation? Even if you go to a doctor and get one of those genetic assessments done. Really? Iceland, another example. Look, Quebec. I live next door to Quebec here. Nobody wants to deal with it. In the scientific literature, the Quebecois are the result of what's called a genetic bottleneck. Okay? Inbreeding in Quebec is a huge problem. Do you want to deal with the implications? Okay, so I just say, I'm cool with that. If you find a wonderful person from Africa or Jamaica, great. If you find somebody to love, you find somebody who you respect, they're a good person, intellectually, ethically, emotionally, great. Have kids with them, reproduce them. I'm totally in favor of that. Okay, for me, that's not the issue. For me, the problem is the way in which this whole polyglot phenomenon misrepresents the life of the mind. I had a lot of intelligent responses to my earlier video on this topic just a few days ago. New video I made just a few days ago. Okay? And, it seems to me what people were most uncomfortable with was my suggestion that learning a foreign language comes with a really serious opportunity cost. That there are things you're never going to learn. There are skills you're never going to master in your own language because you chose to learn a foreign language. That this actually stunts your growth intellectually. That this sets back your growth intellectually as opposed to raising you up to a higher level. Okay? Are we talking about a ladder or are we talking about a pyramid? Is it the case that your intellectual development in your first language, right? There are certain steps you have to go to. There are certain levels you have to climb from each to the other. That you have to develop the ability to read and write in your first language at a sophisticated level before you can benefit from studying another language and going back down to the bottom of that ladder. Is that the case? So look, if you meet a Pakistani guy who from the age of 18 put all of his time and energy into mastering the English language and pursuing romance with white English-speaking women, okay, there are two things here. One, is anyone going to be impressed? We're all supposed to be so impressed for these white guys who learned Japanese. And Evil Dea, this YouTuber, Evil Dea, he has been married to a Chinese woman since 2010. Even if he started learning Chinese the day he got married, which I don't believe, he must have known some Chinese before he met her, fell in love with her. Okay, from 2010 to 2016, and then 2016 to 2026. That's a long time to learn Chinese, and he's still a beginner. He's terrible. I mean, his Chinese is rudimentary. He's a beginner. If he had only been studying Chinese for 3 months, I would congratulate him. Only 6 months, I congratulate him. Steve Kaufman, he's been married to a Chinese woman for longer than I've been alive. Steve Kaufman, more than 50 years of studying Chinese and being married to a Chinese woman. I'm sorry, I forget the year they were married. It's so long ago. All right, it's in Roman numerals. He got married to a Chinese woman when FDR was president, okay? I don't even know. It's a long time ago, okay? And he's still a beginner in Chinese. It's just relative to the number of years, okay? All right, the point is, the decision to learn a foreign language, you have to understand as a sacrifice and a setback in terms of the opportunity cost for what you could be accomplishing in your first language. And for many of these people, for most of these people, and for you, sadly, what you're sacrificing, it's not something you later will accomplish in your first language. The reality is now this is something you're never going to accomplish in your first language. Okay? So the guys who go to Japan, white English-speaking Americans, learn Japanese and put their time and effort into womanizing, let's call it what it is, okay, they never develop the sophisticated knowledge of history, politics, language, literature, philosophy in English and through English that they could have developed in precisely those same years. And they never go back to it. So this polyglot phenomenon, I really think it needs to be examined as something that is a setback, that is stunting you intellectually, that is preventing your development into being a better person. Intellectually, ethically, I would say even emotionally and aesthetically. Okay? The myth of the pyramid is instead like, are you a 16-year-old kid watching this video? You an 18-year-old kid watching this video? Oh, you can stop everything you're doing and learn Japanese. Stop everything you're doing and learn Chinese. Go out and be a womanizer. Go out and amaze these people on the sidewalk. Oh, these people are amazed that I speak their language. Learn phrase book level knowledge of their language. You can find a different way up, a different way to ascend through another language. But the reality is you are speaking that language at the level of a 10-year-old child. Okay? If a Pakistani guy comes to Florida, all right, and he's flirting with and talking to white women, and his level of English is like a 10-year-old child, and worse, what's his level of knowledge of history, politics, philosophy, literature? What's his knowledge of sophisticated subjects in English and through English? It may be worse than a 10-year-old child. Can this guy have an intellectually sophisticated conversation with you about Plato, about Aristotle, about World War II, about the causes of the American Civil War? I don't know. What do girls in Florida talk to you about when they flirt? I could use real examples. What women talk to me about? All right, okay. The myth of the pyramid is you can stop everything you're doing, start again learning childlike Chinese, childlike Japanese, doesn't matter, Italian, some foreign language. You're going to start again with picture books and stories and watching anime, watching cartoons and movies. You're going to go back to this childlike level in another language, and that's somehow going to get you higher up the pyramid, get you to a higher level of intellectual sophistication than buckling down and doing the necessary reading in your first language. So look, I don't want to misrepresent like what I've accomplished in my own life. There was a time in my life when I was studying 2 or 3 languages really, really hard. Huge amount of time and energy. But I could also tell you what I was reading in English in my spare time. I could tell I was already at a high enough level in English. I had learned enough. Again, this involves philosophy, politics. Some people were writing in also about science, which is a great question to raise. Can you talk about, even biology and so on in your first language, in your target language? Those are also important questions, right? I had already reached a high enough level in English that I could turn around and start working in other languages at this childlike level and accept it for what it was. All right? And yeah, look, why women are attracted to me is a topic for another video. If women are really attracted to you and really interested in you, they may find it charming that you speak their language at a rudimentary level, that you're speaking their language like a child. I remember one woman really telling me that I spoke her language in a way that was cute, It's also not something the Polyglot YouTubers talk about. She's attracted to me, so she sees it positively. Okay, again, if some Pakistani guy in Florida is hitting on white women, flirting with white women, and he speaks English like a child, he speaks English like a 10-year-old native speaker of English, and again, there's no intellectual sophistication to back it up, someone who's not well-read and sophisticated, history, politics, or science, or other stuff. Okay, where's it going to go from here? What is the future you're setting up for yourself? And if you keep doing this with many languages, which is what happened to me. It's not what I chose. There were circumstances beyond my control that forced me to start again with new languages at that childlike level. Aren't you just signing up for a perpetual childhood? Intellectual development. It's not a pyramid. It's a ladder.